Hello, dear friends of the vinyl community. It's Robert of Block's Sonic Wafers here on a Saturday afternoon. And I just got back from a couple of errands, but while I was out, I stopped by my secret stash. So this is going to be my secret stash number 4 video, and I thought I would pop in and show you what I got. I did not take my beetle bag with me this round, but instead I took my Lost Highway Street Team Old Whiskey River. Says something else in there in red. You can probably read it better than I can. Oh, it is now a heavy bag, and it needs a serious lint roller. So anyway, I'm going to start pulling stuff out of here. Get it down here where it's a little more comfortable. And we'll see what we got. I hope you're excited. I know I am. Oh, and our first pull, Warren Zevon. This one's got Mohammed's Radio, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, Hasten Down the Wind, Carmelita, Frank and Jesse James. Got the original inner sleeve with Asylum. In very good condition. Needs a slight boff, as does the cover. But anyway, there's number 1, Warren Zevon. Now, some of the things that I grabbed, and I will admit that this is partially random and partially studied. Some of the items that I've got in here I pulled as a result of things I have seen in other people's videos who have mentioned these albums and or acts. You'll know who you are. Here's Jerry Jeff Walker, Reunion. I'm not all that familiar with this one, so it's going to kind of fall into my new discoveries within my own collection series. Looking forward to getting to know this one. Emmylou Harris, Pieces of the Sky. I've seen people show this one fairly recently. I've got quite a few Emmylou albums. Love her voice, as does everyone I know of. So looking forward to revisiting that one. And here's a later Kansas album, which I think is absolutely excellent. If you're not familiar with this one, if you see it in the bins out there, and if you like Kansas at all, I would highly recommend that you snag this one. It's got On the Other Side, A Glimpse of Home. People of the South Wind is an excellent tune. Angels Have Fallen. How My Soul Cries Out for You is another excellent tune. Kansas. I don't care what you say, they're a prog rock band. Isn't that right, puppy? I've seen discussion about this one here recently. Yes, 90125 or 90120 or whatever you want to call I got this used for $2.98. Owner of the Lonely Hearts on here. I was hoping to run into Drama and Tormato in my pulling, and I didn't on this trip. They will turn up, but I wanted to visit those a little more in depth, and here's one for the Atco thread, which I didn't do. Now I have. Pete Townsend, Scoop, the 2 LP, and guess what? It's on Atco. The same gray Atco label that I just showed. So I'm really into the Atco thread game now. Hadn't heard this in a long time. Of course, it will take time to get through all of these. They're all going to need a little cleaning. And here's one for the mirrored thread. Kenny Rogers and the first edition's greatest hits. It's silver all the way around. Got your mail in. $2 for a Warner Brothers special 2 LP set. As we know, there was a bunch of those. On a reprise. Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. But You Know I Love You. Just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. Mama's Waiting, Heed the Call. Something's Burning, Reuben James. Tell It All, Brother. A lot of old Kenny Rogers hits on here. I didn't realize some of those were with the first edition. There you go. I forgot to set my timer, so I'm going to take a break here in a minute and start one. Hagar, Sean, Aronson, and Shreve, Through the Fire. Now, I have seen somebody show this one recently, and I will admit that I am not greatly familiar with this, although it's been in my collection for forever. Did not know they did a cover of A Whiter Shade of Pale. So we will find out about that. Very good plus plus. This album was recorded live by the Westwood One mobile facility, November 9 through 21st of 1983. Additional overdubs at Fantasy Studios. Here's one that kind of popped up in a discussion yesterday. Or at least Monkey Island was the topic of discussion. And I just happened to mention the J. Giles Band album, Monkey Island. Well, here it is. The Brecker, Randy Brecker's on here. Lou Soloff, who's no longer with us. Michael Brecker, so the Brecker brothers. Surrender, You're the Only One, I Do, Somebody, I'm Falling, Monkey Island, I'm Not Rough, So Good, and Wreckage. I was just listening to J. Giles Band's live Full House in the car yesterday in my top 5 live albums of all time. Monkey Island. The Secret Policeman's Other Ball, a charity concert for Amnesty International. And you've got Sting, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Bob Geldof, Johnny Fingers, Phil Collins, Donovan, and the Secret Police. So you've got a couple of songs from each artist. Jeff Beck with Eric Clapton. Bob Geldof only does I Don't Like Mondays. Donovan, the Universal Soldier, and Catch the Wind. And of course Phil Collins does In the Air Tonight and the Roof is Leaking. Secret Policeman's Other Ball. Hadn't heard this one in years. Literally. And here's another one that's going to go into my new discoveries pile. Even though I've had this one for years. King's X, Out of the Silent Planet. In the New Age, Power of Love. King, What Is This? Far, Far Away. It's Atlanta Records on a Megaforce. There we go, King's X. And speaking of, this is off topic, I saw today on the YouTube where Taylor Hawkins, the drummer for Foo Fighters, the late drummer for the Foo Fighters, played in Sass Jordan's band. I have 2 CDs from Sass Jordan. I believe she's a Canadian. I saw her live in Nashville, and I wonder if he was playing drums at that show. I mean, that was a long time ago, but I'm going to have to research that a little bit. So here's Water, Wind, and Stone by Checkfield, which is on the American Gramophone. I believe it's Chip Davis, the same guy that does, no, it's John Archer and Ron Satterfield. I thought it was Chip Davis, but I am corrected by looking into the details here. But this is one of my very early purchases of the new agey stuff. I had heard about how high of a quality the audio is on these pressings, and I just had to try me one. So I'm looking forward to getting back into this. And if you don't know the story of my secret stash, rather than rehashing it, you can go to my playlist where I've got secret stash number 1, 2, and number 3 is in multiple parts. I thought it would be interesting to folks to see that. I'm not so sure if that has panned out. Randy Meisner, One More Song. I really liked his voice in the Eagles, and I've liked most of his solo stuff, not all of it. Hearts on Fire. One More Song. Anyway, Bye Bye. He got tossed out of the Eagles because his own confidence in hitting some high notes was kind of holding him back in concert, and Glenn Frey booted him out which is a shame. He was a great talent. Linda Ronstadt, Simple Dreams. Got a Cracker Jack band here. Waddy. I'm thinking that might be Glenn Fry right there in the shadows. I could be wrong. I'll have to dig into the credits. But we've got It's So Easy. Blue Bayou's on here. Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me. Tumbling Dice. That's chock full of good ones in there. Songs in the Attic by Billy Joel. This is one of those incidences where I believe a lot of these live recordings are better than the original studio recordings. Not that I don't like the original studio recordings, but he just had the right band together to kind of bring those songs to life again and gave them a little more up-tempo. So there's Songs in the Attic. One more, and then I'm going to start the timer. Short Stories and Tall Tales by Horselips. I've shown some Horselips in the past, and I didn't have this one handy to join the little stack that I had. So I will now be getting them together. If you haven't ever heard Horselips, I highly recommend you check them out. Nice inner sleeve, Mercury. Got 10cc there. Rod Stewart's Every Picture Tells a Story, Kool and the Gang, Dolly, Chuck Mangione, NRBQ, Rush, and I have that album right there, BTO. But anyway, that's Horselips. Now, bear with me. Part 2. I've seen this shown lately. The Rolling Stones, Emotional Rescue. Dance, Summer Romance. Where the Boys Go, Down in the Hole, Emotional Rescue. She's So Cold. Fancy White Paper Sleeve. And of course, the yellow Rolling Stones own label. People have been talking about this one lately. Poco, From the Inside. This is when Richie Furay was still the driving force in the band. Timothy B. Schmidt, Paul Cotton, George Grantham, and Rusty Young. We've lost a couple of those recently. Hoedown's on here, Bad Weather, From the Inside. I've always loved this band. That'll Be Fun. Rainbow. I had to start getting a little metal in here for the metalheads out here. Stargazers on this one. Another fancy white paper insert on Polydor Oyster. Never noticed that before. But it needs a little cleaning. Other than that, it's in VG plus condition or more. Have not heard this one in a long time. I had 2 copies of this hanging around, so I just grabbed them both. This is Adrian Blue's Twang Bar King. There's a mess of stuff in there to clean up. So Adrian Blue, Christy Bly, William Jansen, Laurie London, J. Clifton Mayhew. Surprised to see in the chat stream the other day that there's a lot of heavy hitters in the vinyl community that didn't really know who Adrian Blue was. I think they'll get caught up. This one is still sealed. So cool. Twang Bar King. The Sherbs. The Skill. I don't remember much about this band. I'm sure I heard them on the radio, which is why I picked this up. Tony Mitchell, Gareth Porter, Daryl Braithwaite, Alan Sandow, and Harvey James. I do not remember. There's another entry in the ATCO thread. I do not remember what they had on the radio. Perhaps I will be reminded when I give it a spin. Got some ring wear on the cover. Needs a good cleaning. Now here's one you don't see too often, but I have seen it in the vinyl community. The Genuine Imitation Life's Gazette by the Four Seasons. And you'll notice that they've got the Beatles up here. People worship crosses with fingers crossed. This, I believe, was the Four Seasons shot at making a Sgt. Pepper. It is totally out of their wheelhouse. It's actually a very interesting album that I would not toss to the side. If you've never heard it, you can probably go on the YouTube and check it out. But it's an interesting little concept album with some good music there. And I frequently use the Genuine Imitation stolen from this title in everyday life. So there it is, the Four Seasons, the Genuine Imitation Life Gazette. This is one I hadn't heard in years, and I just grabbed it for that reason. Elton John, Here and There. So one side is live in London, one side is live in New York. Which reminds me that at one time I had an album similar to that by Steve Marriott. But I have not seen that one in a long time. Look, there's Nigel Olson's drums. Dee Murray's bass, and Davy Johnstone's guitar on MCA. Tubular bells. Covers coming apart. It's gold stamped with MCA's number. Another Jerry Jeff, Contrary to Ordinary. Not really familiar with a lot of the tunes on this one either, so I guess I'll have me a Jerry Jeff session and get to know both of those. Another Randy Meisner. Love that car. Bad Man, Daughter of the Sky, It Hurts to Be in Love, Save the Last Dance for Me, Take It to the Limit. That's the one he was having some trouble with on stage. Lonesome Cowgirl, Too Many Lovers, If You Want to Be Happy, I Really Want You Here Tonight and Every Other Day, Heart Song. There's some good stuff on this album. John Prine, Common Sense. Hadn't heard this one in a long time, except for maybe a couple of the hits off of it. We're getting close here. Kris Kristofferson. This with Rita Coolidge. Apparently it used to belong to Don Alley. So there they are making music. This one's got Jesus Was a Capricorn, Ode to John Prine. And of course that's the title of this album. I was watching a program on Amazon, which I just finished up, called Outer Range with Josh Brolin. I don't know if anybody's watching it. But they played a Keith Kristofferson song in one of the episodes called Casey's Last Ride. And I didn't realize at the moment that it was Kris Kristofferson. It seemed like his voice was sped up a semitone or two. But the lyrics of the song really hit me. That it was very impressive songwriting. And I'm going to pursue that song. I may already have it in my collection somewhere, but I want to hear it again complete. So there's Kris Kristofferson. This is a band I heard mentioned in the VC recently, and I'm not that familiar with this record, so it's going to be in my new discoveries. Happy the Man. I think somebody said they were from Virginia. I am not positive about that. They are on Arista. The Black Arista. And I believe this is self-titled because I don't see another title. So there's Happy the Man. I'm guessing probably their first. I'm going to dig into that. Harold Budd, In the Mist and In the Shrink. 2 LP in 1 sleeve. In excellent condition. In 2011, Darla Records and Toy On Music. Harold Budd. And least but not last, and me and a friend were talking about this album just yesterday. Again, for those who don't know who Adrian Blue is, he is the guitarist on stage by David Bowie. He was the guitarist and musical director for the Sound and Vision tour. So he's all over the Sound and Vision box set. And it's on blue vinyl. It is not the what do you call the RCA Flexi disc? So there is stage. Don't you wish that all inner sleeves were tip over? Somebody ought to get that idea into their heads. This is a hole punch. I don't know if it was a promo. I haven't seen it mentioned. It does not say so on the label that I can read. But anyway, there you have it. A visit to the secret stash. So now I'm back to having a lot of music to catch up on, as if I didn't already. I know I've got stuff on the shelves over here that's going to be new to me. So I've got a lot of exploring to do. I'm looking forward to it. And I've got a follow-up video to make about my new discoveries, because I mentioned some stuff in there that I was going to listen to, and I have. So I hope you'll look forward to that. And there's a couple of contest entries that I am going to put together. One for Miss Beth at Miss 80s, Movies and Music. And I hope to knock that one out today. So, hope everybody's having a great Saturday. It's extremely warm where I am. I don't mind being here in the AC, but I do have a dinner arrangement for this evening, so I'm going to be going out to dinner to my niece's house, actually. Looking forward to that. And I hope everybody's having a great day and hearing some fantastic music. Go slap something on the turntable, and we'll see you next time.